to the Talk 52 Real Estate Practice Podcast. This is where you listen in on real estate practice sessions so you can hear what to say when you're talking to buyers and sellers. I'm Darren Tunstall, real estate professional, coach, and author. Here's how this works. You're going to hear agents working through a dialogue together, word for word, and then putting it into their own natural tone, style, and phrasing, followed by a short discussion. The goal isn't perfection. It's repetition, confidence, and execution. Let's get into this. I want my price no matter how long it takes. And in this scenario, you are meeting in person with a seller during a listing appointment. The property has been on the market and has received offers that feel low to the seller. They are firm on waiting for a higher price regardless of market feedback. And you need to push back more directly while still respecting that the final decision is theirs. I want to clarify one thing. I think it needs to be slightly rewritten. It says you're in a listing appointment. You're in an appointment with your seller, is what it is, right? And they're on the market. They may have gotten a couple of offers, right? And they're like, no, I don't care that it came in at 785. I want $800,000, period. I'm gonna wait. Okay, yeah. To start this dialogue out, we're going to, it's not written, but the contact is gonna say, you know what, I'm just gonna wait. That's what it is. That's how you're answering. So I know it says, okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear where you're coming from. And I know, that matters to you. So let's do this. So you're answering that you're right in mid-conversation. Alan, let's have you be the contact first. You're going to talk to your agent, Dan. You're going to start the conversation, Alan. Just tell him, you know what? Read the title to him. You know what? I want my price no matter what, no matter how long it takes. So when you're ready, Alan, go ahead and start us out.
I want my price no matter how long it takes.
Yeah, Alan, I hear where you're coming from, and I know that number matters to you. So let's do this. Let me show you what I'm seeing from buyers right now.
I know where you're coming from, but that numbers is just my final and red line. I cannot go lower than that.
Okay. So the offers we received are actually giving us very clear signals. They may feel low, but they're showing us where buyers see the value today. How did those offers sit with you when you first saw them?
Um, yeah, I understand, those offers, but the buyer can see my offer also. So I might have a chance for a buyer can find my offer acceptable.
hmm hmm Yeah, I mean, I get that. It can feel like they're coming in under what the home deserves. But if multiple buyers are landing in similar range, that's not random. That's the market speaking pretty clearly.
I understand where you're coming from. I know that, but uh, my my number it's that's what I can see, and I'm sure that somebody can find that number, reasonable. This is compared to my other neighbors, and this is what I see.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, we can absolutely stay where we are and wait. That's always your call. But the trade-off is we risk sitting longer and potentially seeing even less activity. So, what's more important to you right now, time or maximizing price no matter what?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I don't mind to wait until my somebody show up to accept my number because I'm not in rush to move. So I'm gonna stick with my numbers. And since I look at the Zillow and Redfin and my number, it makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, understood. I respect that. So let me ask you this. if the next few showings bring the same level of interest and similar offers, what would you want to do then?
You mean, okay, well, I will, I'm not sure, but I need to give a chance uh, to my numbers, so
Yeah.
it doesn't get hurt.
Hmm.
All I lose is time, so I have time.
Okay. Yeah, because I asked because if the same level of offers or interest and offer price comes in, I mean at that point we're no longer guessing, right? So we're seeing a consistent pattern from the market, right? So and that's where we can make a really informed decision together.
It makes sense what you are talking about since if you give a chance for my number to show up for a while, and then we can think about something else.
Okay. All right, so here's what I recommend. We give it a short window, watch the next round of activity closely. If the feedback lines up the same way, then we revisit pricing with real data in front of us. Does that feel like a fair way to approach it?
Kind of, I agree with your idea, kind of, but
Okay.
still, cautious about the result.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Let's take the next steps then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. That's great, Alan.
It was good.
That's great.
Well, he definitely pushed back.
Yeah.
Yes,
I,
yes.
I am curious, Dan. Quick question for you, Dan. How long are you on the market before you have this conversation with your seller?
It would be 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow,
14 days.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
you know, this is a real life scenario, no doubt about it. Went through this with a seller of mine a couple of
Wow.
weeks ago. He had a high price in mind from the start, and we didn't agree on it. And I never once told him that the house could hit that mark, right? So, um, we got 4 offers submitted by the deadline, and he said, "Okay, well, this is a great first round of offers, but we don't necessarily have to accept one right now, right? We can wait, see what else comes in next week."
Mhm.
Like, well, you certainly can, but doesn't mean you're going to get higher next week if you're on longer, and it's exactly this. So, um, it's challenging, but you got to see where they're coming from also. But I really like numbers 9 and 10. If multiple buyers are landing in a similar range, that's not random.
Dan, you're gonna go again. This time, Alan, I'm gonna give Dan a hard time.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be his counterpart. All right, Dan. You know what, Dan? Look, it's been 2 weeks. Appreciate you coming over here talking to me about this, but I don't want to lower my price. I know that's something that you mentioned earlier, and I just don't want to do it. Honestly, I really don't care how long it takes. I need $950,000 for my house, period.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Darren. I know that 950 price point is important to you. But I think you also mentioned that let's take it back a little bit and let's go over the reason why you're selling in the first place, right? You mentioned that you're going to be retiring at the end of June, and you need the money from the sale of this house to buy your next home. Is that still the case?
Yeah, and the important word there is need. I need that 950 in order for me to retire. So, I think we should stay there.
Right. Yeah, good point, good point. And so I'm not sure if you remember this, but when we first met at our first appointment, right, I kind of gone over what the whole home selling process looked like. And one important metric or data point that I brought to that meeting was the average days to an offer, right? And so in our market in Malden right now, average day to an offer is 14 days. And as we're approaching that 14-day mark, if we haven't received an offer, it's more than likely has something to do with the price right now. Do you agree?
I don't know. I mean, the market's going to do what it does. At the end of the day, I just, how many, I mean, I know we've had some people take a look at it, but I know my home is worth what it is. And at the end of the day, I really think if we just wait it out, we'll get that price.
Hmm. Well, here's what waiting it out would mean for you, right? Since we've been on the market for 14 days, there has been five other single family houses that have entered the market.
Mm.
Of those five right now, three of them went under agreement after the first week of going on the market. So buyers are out there, buyers are still making offers. And what it's doing to your house is it's essentially pushing it to the back of the shelf, right? As new inventory comes on, yours gets pushed back further and further. And just think about it this way, if buyers see that your house is on the market longer than others, a psychological factor creeps in and they're going to ask, what's wrong with that house? And so now you're misperceiving or the perception of your house is getting worse by the day, essentially. But, of course, I will do whatever you like to do.
Well, I mean, well, I don't want people to think that I have a bad house. It's definitely in great condition. You know that. I, I, I I guess I'm kind of wondering, how do those houses compare to mine? Are they bigger? Are they more remodeled? I mean, I don't know how that's the case because I've done all this work in the last couple of years, but I mean, I just think that it's worth this much.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. And again, I think I went over this. It's not what you think it's worth. It's not what I think it's worth. It's what the market thinks it's worth. And what we're seeing here is, um, the offers that do come in, they may feel low, but they're showing us where buyers see the value today. And the offers that we received are actually giving us very clear signals.
Oh, you're killing me, man. I mean, can we give it at least another couple days chance to see what happens here?
Yep, absolutely. So what we can do is we can give it a couple more days. We can see what activity comes in during that short window. If we're still getting similar feedback, similar offers that land in the similar price point and or private showings. But if we don't get private showings, then we know that we have to make an adjustment, and that adjustment is going to be relating to price. And it's not going to be a significant, or excuse me, it's not going to be a small price adjustment. It's going to be a significant price adjustment to recapture the market that's passing over us right now.
Well, don't tell me that. I'm I'm curious, okay, well, in these next couple of days to give us a real chance, what are you going to do other than just rely on that MLS, I think it's called, to to really get people to my house?
Yep. Yep, that's a great question. So, of course, I'm going to email your house back out to my database as I have been doing. That's filled with buyers and people in the neighborhood as well to put that back in front of them, letting them know that it's still available. Of course, I will reach out to the agents in the area as well that are working with buyers to let them know that it's still available as well. We can have another round of open houses, but I feel like the most interested people are the ones that call for a private showing.
We're good. I don't have to clean the house anyway. So all right, I got to ask one more question then. You said might be a significant drop. If I drop the price today, now I'm not saying I am because I still think it's worth 950. What are you suggesting? You said significant. That scares me.
Yeah, no, and I don't mean to scare you, but I think to kind of gain momentum or regain momentum and capture the buyers that overlooked us or are overlooking us, I think a price adjustment of 25 grand will be will shake the market up a little bit and put it back in front of people. And then, hey, who knows? That might get back into a multiple offer situation, and that could get you back up to that 950 price that you're looking for.
Okay. Well, all right. 25 grand I could probably live with. I was thinking like 100. I was like, what? This guy's nuts. Okay. Um, all right. So what? Couple days or I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know, man. I mean, I really just need to sell my house.
right. Yeah, right. I mean, if you
At
don't,
the end of the day, you're my realtor. What do I need to do?
yep, yep, you're absolutely right. So, if you,
What do you want me to do?
yeah, so I mean, what I want you to do is listen to me, Darren. Okay, and I think that's we have to have a price adjustment now, so we don't stay on the market longer than we need to.
All right, fine. Let's just lower the price.
Okay. All right, so I'll make that adjustment now. We should expect to get multiple phone calls to have private showings. I'll keep you updated on how many we get and when they want to see it. And if there's an overwhelming amount of phone calls, then we can have an open house on Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m.
So I got to clean my house.
Well, just remember again, Darren, what I said in our meeting, once your house is on the market, you got to look at it as it's no longer your house, right? So,
Okay. Yep. 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 All right. All right. All right. All right. No, you're right. Let's do it.
all right, sounds good. So we'll reduce the price, 25 grand, and we will go from there.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great.
Yes.
Yeah, great back and forth. Yes.
All right.
I don't think I would actually say what I would want. What I want you to do, Darren, is listen to me. That just came out kind of,
Actually, I loved it.
yeah.
I
No, yeah,
loved
you
it.
did good. Yeah, yes,
I
yeah,
it,
y-
it you know what?
yes,
It was one of those lines, in my opinion, that set
yes,
me straight.
Hmm.
yes. Yeah, you told them the sooner the better in another way. Yeah. So the sooner you change so that's why he agreed to change the numbers. So
Good.
you convince him to do that by talking to him. The sooner the better.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be afraid to say that line.
Okay.
Yes, that's true.
Not afraid, but I don't think you should be
Yeah.
cautious.
Okay.
I think said correctly. You know, if you're like, Darren, listen to me. Now I'm your kid, right? Now you don't talk to me like that. But what
Mhm.
I need you to do is listen to me as your professional agent.
Right.
This is what I'm advising you to do. It's your choice, but and
Hmm.
I mean you're backing everything up
Yes,
with what's going on, what's on the market. You know, there's other homes in the area. They already got three offers. Yours is still on the market. Here's what's going on.
yes,
We could try it out. So I think that was a good line to set me
yes,
straight, number one.
yes,
The other one that I really liked was you honestly had me thinking okay, so initially when you said it's not just going to be because you said it a couple of times, you're like it's going to be a price drop and it's going to be a significant one. I was literally thinking that you were going to advise me to drop it like 100 grand or something. I
mm,
was thinking in my mind. But what happened was, and I don't know if you did this on purpose. You can claim that you did if this is the case. But what happened was when you told me 25K, I was like, oh, well, that's not bad at all.
Mm.
I could deal with that.
Hmm.
yes,
So
yes,
when you went from significant, it's almost like somebody giving you a quote and then they come in under, and it's like,
Right.
oh, okay, well, that's doable.
Buyer surplus. Right. Yep.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, no, I think that's just kind of our or what we tell sellers, it's not going to be 5 grand or 10 grand or 1 grand or 5 grand. It's going to be a, good sized chunk
Well, I like
relative
the
to the
fact that you
market.
left me hanging a little bit. I really do.
Hmm.
yes, yes,
Call it reverse psychology or what, but it caused me to really, but then it made me feel better when it was only 25K. If
Mm.
you would have told me 25K to begin with, I would have been like, what?
Mm. Okay.
25K?
Right.
That
that's
was
right.
good.
If
Chuck,
that's
what
what
do you
gets the
think?
household, yeah.
I felt like I watched a wrestling match and Dan ended up coming out on top. But it was a battle. And Darren
Yes, yes,
had a couple of little good moves, and then Dan had some good moves. I was going like,
yes,
oh my, it felt real, really,
yes.
honestly. It felt like a real discussion between a seller, Darren, and Dan had the answer, and I liked it. It was definitely, you know what I mean? Dan, the thing I love about you, and this is something that it's practice, so it's easier to do, but that's why you do it, is you're under control. You never get like fired up or like defensive, because that's something that I know a lot of people do. I do sometimes. Like I won't let the customer know it, but I'll be like, man, are they really thinking that I'm, trying to charge them too much with an interest rate? I'm giving them my best. So I like that about you, because you always take it, and that's what it's not even, I was going to say that's what a good salesperson does. It's not even sales. It's just communication. It's good communication. You've got the question. I've got the answer. Here's what I see. Darren, you are killing me. And I was with you, because when he said substantial, I kind of went, ooh, substantial. And then you're kind of going like substantial, and so you're kind of stewing on it. And then the 25 grand didn't hurt. It didn't hurt compared to what I was thinking. I was thinking 50 to 100. Although, I still thought in reality it'd probably be 25, but it made it less painful. So that was good.
Yes, that was. I think that was a really good lesson for everybody.
Was very good, and then he was very convincing by saying, like, if we get like 25 K down, and we might get more offer, and we might get the price what you been looking for, and that's what makes convince the other to say, oh, okay, that's a good idea. So he bring him to the same number he was asking for. So that was good tactic he used that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it takes practice, right, Dan?
That's right.
Yes.
And on the flip side of things, it's like from a seller's perspective, and what you said, Darren, is okay, well, we're on the market X amount of days. What are you going to do to bring people back in to regain momentum? And from an agent standpoint, it is challenging once you're past the average days on market or average days to an offer. It's not so much me. It's the price now, right?
Right.
So.
Well, I wanted to throw. I intentionally threw that curveball in there because I wanted to see what you would say, and I think you handled it great.
Yes.
But I think also to that point, when we're being blunt and upfront with our clients, it's no amount of advertising in the world is going to sell an overpriced house, right? So I think at that point I should have just laid into it's the price reduction right now.
Well, you know what? We've talked in the past. This is why real estate agents get paid so well. We have tough conversations, but the other thing is they also pay you to be blunt with them. There's some people that want to sugarcoat it, and you can't. This is their home. I mean, you could do it respectfully. This is their home. But look, as a professional, this is what I've seen, and your house is a mess. You need to clean it up. Okay? If you really want to get top dollar for this house, we need to put it in show condition. And, it feels odd to have that conversation, but as certain leaders have said, if it feels odd, do it so much that it feels odd not to do it. No, good job.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Chuck. I appreciate y'all, and good dialogue. This is a real scenario, so go out and do it. What's next?
Lead gen.
Big Jen.
Lead gen. Yeah, we did our
Yes.
practice. We do lead gen, follow up, log our activity, and the results of that are appointments, contracts, closings.
Listing appointment tomorrow at 8:30 a.m.
Yes,
Yes,
good job.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Awesome.
Early
All
morning.
right, we're
All right,
gonna
bye,
share
guys.
that with
Thank
the
you.
world. All right, man.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye. If you want to join these sessions live, we practice every weekday morning. This is where you build the habit of practicing, lead generating, and following up every day. Head over to talk52.com to create your account and get started. That's TALK52.com. This content is for educational purposes only and does not guarantee results. Please consult your broker, coach, or appropriate professional for guidance specific to your situation. Results will vary, and you are responsible for your own actions. Darren Tunstall, California Real Estate License 018-53445, currently unaffiliated with a brokerage.